Thanksgivings.
2 Thanksgivings.
Why are we visiting Uncle Ed now? Thanksgiving is next month, Curtis said. In the United States, Thanksgiving is in November, his mom replied. In Canada, it's in October. Why? Curtis asked.
Why are we visiting Uncle Eddie now? Thanksgiving is next month, Curtis said. In the United States, Thanksgiving is in November, his mom replied. In Canada, it's in October. Why? Curtis asked.
Ask Uncle Ed. He used to teach history. You could learn a lot from him, his mom said. Teach? Learn? I thought this was a vacation, exclaimed Curtis. Curtis's mom laughed as she turned into Uncle Ed's driveway.
Ask Uncle Ed. He used to teach history. You could learn a lot from him, his mom said. Teach? Learn? I thought this way a vacation, exclaimed Curtis. Curtis's mom laughed as she turned into Uncle Ed's driveway.
Uncle Ed met them at the front door. He said, Sis, you haven't changed a bit. Curtis, I bet you've grown 3 inches.
Uncle Ed met them at the front door. He said, Sis, you haven't changed a bit. Curtis, I bet you've grown 3 inches.
It's because I eat a lot, Curtis said. Then I'm glad I made a snack, Uncle Ed said. He led everyone into the kitchen.
That's because I eat a lot, Curtis said. Then I glad I made a snack, Uncle Ed said. He led everyone into the kitchen.
Why is Canada's Thanksgiving so early? Curtis asked between bites. Thanksgiving is when we give thanks for the harvest, Uncle Ed said. Since Canada gets colder before the United States, its harvest and Thanksgiving come earlier.
Why is Canada's Thanksgiving so early? Curtis asked between bites. Thanksgiving is when we give thanks for the harvest, Uncle Ed said. Since Canada gets colder before the United States, its harvest and Thanksgiving come early.
The next day, Curtis's mom helped Uncle Ed cook Thanksgiving dinner. What are we having? Curtis asked. You'll find out soon, his mom said. Why don't you watch TV?
The next day, Curtis's mom helped Uncle Ed cook Thanksgiving dinner. What are we having? Curtis asked. You'll find out soon, his mom said. Why don't you watch TV?
We watch football on Thanksgiving too, Uncle Ed said. I'm sure there's a game on.
We watch football on Thanksgiving too, Uncle Ed said. I'm sure there's a game on.
Way out of the kitchen, Curtis saw a cornucopia. It looked like one Mom used for their Thanksgiving. Football? Cornucopia? Was Canada copying the United States?
On his way out of the kitchen, Curtis saw a cornucopia. It looked like one Mom used for their Thanksgiving. Football? Cornucopia? Was Canada copying the United States?
At dinner, Curtis sat down to turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, and pumpkin pie. He blurted out, "Your Thanksgiving is just like ours."
At dinner, Curtis sat down to turkey stuffing, mashed potatoes, and pumpkin pie. He blurted out, "Your Thanksgiving is just like ours,"
and said, "We do celebrate in similar ways." In the 1700s, many Americans moved to Canada. They brought their Thanksgiving traditions with them.
Uncle Ed lauded and said, "We do celebrate in similar ways." In the 1700s, many Americans moved to Canada. They brought their Thanksgiving traditions with them.
"We probably gave you our holiday too," Curtis said. "Actually, we celebrated Thanksgiving before you," Uncle Ed replied. "However, Thanksgiving is much older than both Canada and the United States." "Really?" Curtis said, surprised.
We probably gave you our holiday too," Curtis said. "Actually, we celebrated Thanksgiving before you," Uncle Eddie replied. "However, Thanksgiving is much older than both Canada and the United States." "Really?" Curtis said, surprised.
The First Nations people were giving thanks for the harvest long before settlers arrived. Also, Spanish settlers in the southern part of North America celebrated Thanksgiving even before Canada. So when did Thanksgiving start in Canada? Curtis asked.
The First Nations people were giving thanks for the harvest long before settlers arrived. Also, Spanish settlers in the southern part of North America celebrated Thanksgiving even before Canada. So when did Thanksgiving start in Canada? Curtis asked.
An explorer named Martin Frobisher celebrated the first Canadian Thanksgiving in 1578. He gave thanks because he had survived the long trip across the ocean from England to Canada.
Explorer named Martian
For the
Frobisher
harvest,
celebrated
Curtis
the first Canadian Thanksgiving in
No.
1578. He gave thanks because he had survived the long trip across the ocean from England to Canada. "We didn't give thanks for the harvest?" Curtis asked.
And many other Canadian Thanksgivings weren't harvest celebrations either, Uncle Ed said.
No, and many other Canadian Thanksgivings weren't harvest celebrations either, Uncle Ed said.
In 1872, Thanksgiving was held because the Prince of Wales survived an illness, Uncle Ed said. That prince must have been an important person, Curtis said. He later became a king, Uncle Ed said. Canadians had a Thanksgiving for that, too.
In 1872, Thanksgiving was held because the Prince of Wales survived an illness, Uncle Ed said. That prince must have been an important person, Curtis said. He later became a king, Uncle Ed said. Canadians had a Thanksgiving for that too.
Giving was held. But now Canada gives thanks for the harvest? Curtis asked. Yes. In 1957, Canada made its Thanksgiving official. Since then, we have always given thanks on the second Monday in October, Uncle Ed said.
But now Canada gives thanks for the harvest? Curtis asked. Yes, in 1957, Canada made its Thanksgiving official. Since then, we have always given thanks on the second Monday in October, Uncle Ed said.
After dinner, Curtis and his mom thanked Uncle Ed. Come to our house for Thanksgiving next month, Curtis said. I'll teach you about our holiday. Sure, Uncle Ed said. By then, I'll be craving more pumpkin pie.
After dinner, Curtis and his mom thanked Uncle Ed. Come to our house for Thanksgiving next month, Curtis said. I'll teach you about our holiday. Sure, Uncle Ed said. By then I'll be craving more pumpkin pie.